Hello, welcome to another series. This time it's Euro tours. So our plan is that we're going to visit every European country over the coming months. We're going to use the A320 from Phoenix, and you join us today. We're at Gatwick. So short hop, first flight England to Scotland. We're going to go from Gatwick to Edinburgh. Flight time of about 55 minutes, so it's not that long today. So very quick, come out of Gatwick and we'll make our way straight up north over the Midlands, over Cumbria before we start to descend into Edinburgh. And we'll go through the flight plan in a second. So the plan with this series, the plan with the Euro series, Europe, 44 countries. Actually there'll be a few more than that though, because UK is classed as one. But we are going to go and visit Wales, Northern Ireland, and of course Scotland, and also the 4 dependencies of the Channel Islands, Isle of Man, Faroe Islands and Gibraltar. We'll visit all of those as part of our series. Some of them will be on VATSIM, some won't. We're not on VATSIM today, but we are using GSX Pro and FSLTL. So if we come outside, actually, let's have a good look round. Here we are at Gatwick. You have to excuse the floating, I don't know if you can see that, floating cones there. For some reason with this airport, it's from flightsim.to, you get the floating cones. So it's obviously something to do with the airport. But it's quite busy, lots of EasyJet in, as you can see. It's quite misty as well. There's a lot of mist there, but the clouds should start to clear as we make our way out of the airport. Right, so without further ado, let's go and have a look at our flight plan for today. Then you can see we'll be using the Lam 1 Zulu instrument departure, flying out over Lambourne, Brooklyn Park, before joining the Uniform November 601 airway to INPIP, and then we'll start our descent through the INPIP 1 Echo arrival. Flight time 55 minutes. Yeah, we were due to depart at 12:40, but we had a few technical hitches with the actual stream, so clearly we're going to be slightly delayed. But yeah, short flight up, and Edinburgh is a bit overcast, but should be fine to arrive. Probably arriving close to just after 3 o'clock local time. So nice. One reversing here. There's a British Airways over here on its way out as well. So let's go and get the cockpit all set up. So first thing we're going to do, I am going to turn on. Let's turn on our electronic flight pad. Here we go. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in the, see we've already got delay card. Let's bring in the flight plan from SimBrief. We'll cancel that, there we go. We're supposed to be out at 12:40, we're not going to be at 12:40 now. Let's just change that. So let's go for 20 minutes. Let's go for 13, let's go for 13:15, just to give ourselves just a little bit of, ooh, hello. Okay, 13, that's odd. It won't let us change the whole of the time for some reason. Interesting. Let's just try that once more. Can't even delete it. Yeah. Okay, anyway, alright, I'm not going to worry too much. We're going to be 10 minutes delayed, it's fine, not a problem. So the METAR for Gatwick today, on the 13th at 12:20 was when it was last updated. Wind at 100 degrees, 7 knots, cloud 6,000 feet, broken, temperature 13, dew point 12, QNH 1019, so that'll help in a second when we come to program in our QNH. So If you've not used the Phoenix before, the overhead panel's quite straightforward. To actually start the aeroplane, you just turn the batteries on first, so battery 1, give it a second, there you go, battery 2, just wait, kicks in. Let's put the external power on, because we know that the external power is available to us. Turn off our white lights. Remember, the A320 white lights all off. There we go. Let's turn on our APU because we will need it, and I'm just going to put our beacon on for now. On seat belts, no smoking sign, doors armed. Just going to put some temperature into the cargo. Let's start the auxiliary power unit. While we're here, come up top left, we're going to start our ODIHRs. This is number 1, number 2, and number 3 is in the middle. So it's not as you might expect, you don't go left to right. So nav, nav, and nav, and they'll align. Just wait for the lights to come out, they will align. And if we go down, oops, bear with, if we have a look here, you can ignore that. Let's just clear those faults off. We'll just ignore those for now. There's no livestock in there, I'm not too worried. There you go. So the IR will align in 7 minutes. Okay. Let's just turn this. So while we're waiting, what we can do is we can start to program the MCDU, which we're going to do now. Again, click Atsu, AOC menu, and flight init, and then we can init data request. And what this will do, it should do, is bring everything in from SimBrief. He says, there we go. So Speedbird 74 Bravo, Echo Golf Kilo Kilo, Gatwick, Echo Golf Papa Hotel, Edinburgh, with our alternate, which is Manchester. Estimated time 55 minutes. So go to init, and then again init request. Again, it'll pull in most of the data, not all. Interesting. I bet the flight number won't get filled in. Yeah, there we go. Speedbird 74 Bravo. Cost index today is 0. Again, that's just a formula that you can lift straight from your flight plan. And our cruising altitude is flight level 360, 36,000 feet. You just need to put 360 and it will work out what the temperature is from the planning. There we go. Now, telling me there is another page. So 0 fuel weight, we can add in the 0 fuel weight, which is 59.0. What I can't yet do, 0 fuel weight, centre of gravity, which I'll do in a second. Block fuel 6.1, so we're going to put 6.2. That just gives us a little bit more should we need it. There we go. While we're here, I'm just going to bring the GSX panel back. Let's get boarding. Request boarding.
Boarding requested.
There we go. British Airways. British Airways today. There we go. So it's going to handle it all for us. Flight plan. So Echo Golf Kilo Kilo. We're going out today on the Lam 1 Zulu departure. So line key next to airport that we're at. Again, departure. Runway today. I'm just going to double check this so that I get this right. It's 08 right. There we go. And Lam 1 Zulu. Remember, it will always drop the 4th letter. So it's Lam 1 Zulu. Click that. Puts it in here. We've got no transitions, and we're just simply going to hit insert. And there's all your waypoints. Both.
Pilots boarding started.
Been updated. We are on SU11, so we'll see how that performs today. Not been on it yet. Took an age to download. 21 gigabytes of update. Okay, so let's sort our destination now and arrival. So into Edinburgh. Now ILS today is 06 on the INPI 1 Echo arrival. Select that and insert that. There we go. Now, just going to check we haven't got any discontinuities. So we're leaving
Crew boarding starting.
08 right. There's all our waypoints. I'll come to the planning for that in a second. We'll show you the maps and the charts. Now, the updated Phoenix to say that they've got rid of that steep angle, which they have. Ahaha, brilliant. Okay, good, good, good. It looks like we're good to go. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let's just double check. Oops. There we go, yeah. Right, now while we're waiting for that, I'm just going to pull up the Navigraph charts and I'm going to let you have a quick look at Navigraph. This
Your
is the
crew
new
has
Navigraph.
boarded.
I'm quite impressed with it actually.
Passengers boarding starting.
Much smarter interface, makes more sense, but you can see our route. Well, the Lambourne departure, Brooklyn Park, make our way across country up the Midlands. Here's our alternate, which is Manchester. So we'll just pass to the east of Manchester, up over Cumbria before we start our descent into Edinburgh 06. Now, what I was impressed with was when I brought all of the flight planning in, it automatically brought in the charts. So there you can see us, that's us. On the pier, 104 today. So when we push and start, we'll push and start back out onto K. Make our way down Papa, hold at B Bravo 1 before making our way onto the runway, probably through Bravo. And then, no, what am I talking about? We won't at all, because if we do that, we're facing the wrong way. It will be K down onto Juliet. Juliet, all the way down. Runway 08 right. So that could have been interesting. We'd have been going straight into all of the other aircraft taking off, which we won't do. Our departure, as you can see, will take off. Got to stay between 2,000 and 5,000 feet by Kilo Echo 02. And we'll make our way along on the SID. We will climb with the constraints. So we get to Lambourne, 6,000 feet, 250 knots, and then we'll start our climb up to flight level 360. And then coming into Edinburgh, we'll be on the INPIP. On arrival, we've got to be at flight level 260. Bearing in mind we're at 360, so we'll start our descent before, and then we'll make our way along the INPIP 1 Echo arrival. Flight level 200 by INREV, ESTO maximum 250 feet, and we've got to be at flight level 070 by Tata. Must be at that. We cannot be any higher than that. And then we're going to be starting an IFR approach, and I'm just going to get some more charts up. Here we go. ILS 06. Let's pin that. And we must be at 4,000 feet by 12 miles out, otherwise we won't catch the glide slope to bring us in. So 4,000 feet is our target altitude today. In fact, let me just change that chart. I'm going to just change that for the Cat 1-3. There we go. 4,000 feet still remains. Transition altitude is 6,000 feet. And hopefully that should bring us in. It should be quite straightforward approach and landing into Edinburgh if the Phoenix behaves, because we have had a few issues with the Phoenix not behaving. But there you go. Right, let's go back into the cockpit. Just all the brightness is on. That's good. Just going to put the lights up. I'm hoping we're going to get up and down in the daylight, so we shouldn't have any issues. Let's just make sure that the wind shear is on, otherwise I'll get warnings. Let's do 3652. We're just making this up today, but there you go. Okay, door locked. Let's go back. Okay. balance. Let's load the aircraft. Let's do an instant. For the sake of this, it just gives us that centrifugal weight gravity 31.2. So we should be able to put that straight into our planning page. 31.2. So just put / 31.2. Bot fuel 6.2. I'd like to do interesting. Just want to make sure that we've got 6.180 kilos, so we're okay there. Still loading cargo, still loading the front and the back. Let's just go back on the MCDU, make sure. We will have to do our performance in a second, which I'll come back to. Fuel, 6.18, 31.2, 59, all good there. So let's just fill our performance page out now. It'll be a flaps 2 today. So if you come on to, for those that don't know, in the electronic flight bag there's a performance page. This is the takeoff page, if you like, the departure performance, and in here you'll see a mirror of the page we've just had a look at. Now, change the runway, 08 right, it is dry. We're going to go flaps 2, no force toga, no anti-ice, PAX, which is your air conditioning, is off. Let's just sync our load sheet, does it automatically. Let's sync our weather. Once we've done that, you just hit calculate. What it will do is calculate your performance data that you need to take off. So we've already said flaps 2, that's down 0.2. Flex temp is 68 degrees. Our thrust engine out is 1200. We'll come to later. Now V1 148. Rotate speed is 148, and our V2 speed, where we can't postpone or cancel our takeoff, is 151. So runway 08. So what we do, back into the MCDU, and we just literally put that information into here. So flaps, let's start with the flaps first. Flaps 2, DN for down, 0.2. Add that with the line key next to it, automatically puts it in. Flex temp 68 degrees. 68 degrees. Now it's not too bad a calculation. I find these are always pretty close coming in from SimBrief, but let's just change them and make them right. 1200 / 1200. There we go. Transition altitude for today is 6,000 feet. We'll go back and do our Q&H in a minute, because it's important we get that right. V1 148. VR 148. And V2 151. There we go. All filled in, ready to go. What we now need to do is come down here. Now, need to just, I'm not sure it's going to let me do it actually from this angle. No, okay, won't let me do it. Let's just see if I can do it from here. I need to just, ooh, okay. No, not letting me change it. Okay, it'll do that automatically for us then. I'm not going to mess around. You normally just rotate the wheel ever so slightly just to get a 0.2 against that marker there, but that's fine. I'm not going to worry too much, it will do it for us. Now, what was our Q&H again? I just want to check that. Q&H, let's go back. We need to go to the home, Phoenix homepage. Let's go my flight. Q&H 1019. So what we do, let's just change this 1019, as you can see there, and the other one's changed. I am going to change on here It says 100 at the minute. Well, that's all well and good, but we're going to be at flight level 360, so I am going to change this to 36,000 feet. That doesn't mean to say that we'll be climbing straight to 36,000 feet at all. What will actually happen is it will follow the constraints in the departure. So if it says by Brooklyn Park you've got to be at 6,000 feet, no higher, no lower, the aircraft will actually follow those. And I'm just going to turn constraint on here so we can actually see that on our MCDU as we go. And, not our MCDU, sorry, RND. There you go, you can see the constraints there really clearly. So the aircraft will stick to those constraints. It will make sure it's above 2,000 feet by Kilo Kilo Echo 02. And so on all the way through. Let's just if I change that 40 miles, there you go, you can see all of the constraints. There's Lambourne, 6,000 feet, 250 knots, won't go above that until we get beyond Lambourne, and then it will climb up to 36,000 feet. All good, almost ready to go then, I think. Right, I think so. I'm just making sure I've not forgotten anything. It feels like I have, but I don't think so. Let's just check on the overhead above. On. We got that light on. Okay. Let's put our strobes light so we know people know we're about to go. Our nav light, and we'll turn the other lights on in a second. Traffic. Don't think so. I'm on the ground. Interesting. Okay, so did I think we can turn off ground power now. Let's just I don't know. Nothing's coming out of the exhaust. Is it not turned? No, that should be turned on. That's interesting. Wasn't turned on. Okay. Well, so be it. We should be getting exhaust coming out of here. I'm not quite sure why we're not, if I'm honest. I'm slightly concerned that if I turn that off, I'm going to lose all power. Let's have a look. APU. Flap is open, but we haven't got. I don't think it's on. Why are you not working? On. There we go. Don't know why it wasn't turning on, but it is now. There we go, you start to see the exhaust fumes coming out of the auxiliary power unit at the back. So that's what will give the plane power to keep the lights and everything running. So we can come off ground in a second. So we just check that. There we go, it's running, flaps opening, percentage is coming up. Let's just wait until we get the APU generator on. Once we've done that, we can then disengage ground power. And we'll be ready. We'll have a pushback, which will be interesting. I'll try GSX, but it hasn't been working for me. Not been playing recently. There we go. APU's available. Let's go back up the top. Come off external power. Come back in here. Ground services. I'm going to turn off the chocks and cones because they float in the air anyway. Let's turn off GPU. All the doors are shut. Right. I will try. Oh, dear me. I will try GSX, but prepare for pushback and departure. It's virtually asking for pushback. Right. I don't want to interrupt the pushback, no. I'd like to...
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
would you like me to do? I don't want you to interrupt it at all, I just want you to push it back. Bypass pin's been inserted. There we go, look, it's fine. All good, all good.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Okay. Right. Would you like to bring a truck then? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Where are you going? Okay. Long way around for a shortcut, but never mind, we're there. We're getting there. So just a reminder, this is leg 1 of our European tour. We're going to be visiting every European country. And if they, there are some countries that don't have their own airport, we'll fly into their nearest, their local airport. So we're in. Okay, I'm going back into the cockpit because I've got a feeling he's going to want me to, or she's going to want me to take off the handbrake. Nose to the left, tail to the right. Let's quick edit the pushback actually. Okay, this is, I'll warn you, this is interesting. I tried this before. Right, how did we do that last time? Oh, come back. Come back. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now, the only thing is, I would say, I don't quite know how to turn it. There was a key. Oh, do you know what? Do you know what? Just for now, let's just get him to turn it to here. Because I genuinely can't remember. Whee! So you use the number pad and it'll give you a different view, but that's not going to help in terms of getting the thing turned round. It's not A, is it? No, A just takes you the other way. Okay. That's no use.
Exiting from editing mode.
That's fine.
Please wait.
I'm going to turn it myself manually. I will get the instructions for that. Okay, releasing parking brake.
Commencing push. All engines are clear. Start at will.
So what we're going to do, engine APU bleed is now on, so that means we can just use the exhaust and the bleed power from the auxiliary power unit. I will turn on, I have got the Thrustmaster, which is really good. So engine start, engine 2 on. What we should start to see is if we start to look up here, here we go, engines. Now why aren't you going? That's interesting. Did APU bleed come off? Something freaky going on here. Here we go, it's firing up. I was maybe being a bit impatient, I don't know. Right, I don't know what's going on, why it's not reversing me, but I'd like it to. Release the parking brake. Yes, I've done. I've done it. This is why I don't like GSX. It's not that good. Tell you what I'm going to do. I know what we're going to do. Let's start engine 2. And let's just use this. Let's connect the tug. It's far better. Far better. Well done, Phoenix. See? I know where I need to be. There we go. Honestly. Here we go. Nice, smooth pushback. Good engine start. See the turbines are turning. That's good. Let's start the. There we go. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We're coming around nicely. Just keep our eye out the front as we line up. Here we go. Starting to come round. That's nice, nice, nice. Better than GSX, that's for certain. Let's just stop it here. Stop. Parking brake set. No, I don't want to. I need to. Oh, I'm going to get told off, aren't I? However I do this, because they still think they're going to be doing it. They're not. GSX is not going to do my pushback. There we go. Right, let's go and check where we're up to in the cockpit. Right, have we got power? Yes, we have. Power to both engines. So what we can do now, turn off the ignition. Oops. Turn off the ignition. Flaps. 2. Spoilers armed. I think we're ready to taxi. Okay, so just a final look then at our taxi route, just to make sure. So there we go, we're facing Kilo, so what we'll probably do is do Kilo, Quebec, before going down Juliet, joining 08 right, taking off in an easterly direction, and then before making a nice climb above East Midlands, then the Midlands, over Cumbria before we start our descent into Edinburgh. Flight time of 55 minutes, hopefully we'll be on the ground, I was saying 3 o'clock, no, I think we'll be on the ground probably by about 20 past, 25 past 2. Okay, right. Let's go. Give the engines a bit of welly so we can. There we go. So, okay, feet on the rudders. While we're here, let's just do. Very quickly, let's turn on all the light. Oh, strobe on. Whew. I did that before and I crashed. Right, auto brake max. Done. Takeoff test. Takeoff configuration test. Done. All green, no blue. Turn the APU bleed off. Turn the APU off. That's it. I think we're ready to go. Phew. So we're making our way now towards Quebec on Kilo. Making our way down to 08 right. Very light winds. We shouldn't have experienced too many problems with our takeoff today. Here's Quebec. Just make sure there's nothing coming from the right, which there isn't. It's a really well modelled airport, this one. It's free, flightsim.to, the Gatwick airport, well worth a look. Here we go. Alright, we'll now make our way down Quebec. Don't see many take off or land actually. Actually, it is a bit misty today, as you can see. But we have got FSLTL running. I will double check that just to show you. It is running. should start to see more aircraft in the skies as well as on the ground. Here we go. So now take a right onto Juliet. That is a runway in front of us. Oi, steady, steady. Got a bit quick there. Never mind. Here we go. And the easy jets just to our right. Look. We can have a good look at those as we go by. Guitar air. There's a lot of aircraft on the ground, but I've not seen many in the air today. Normally you see one or two coming in. So anyway. Make our way down, so we're still going down Juliet, little way to go yet. Juliet actually goes all the way round the back of 08 left, so we can line up 08 right. Sometimes you do get air traffic control trying to get you to go down the runway 08 left and then turn on. You can do that as well, turn on at hotel or golf. We'll just go down the bottom. Let's see if anything comes in. It's very quiet in the air today. Very quiet. Interesting. I did look on VATSIM, and that was very busy. Very busy. Heathrow especially. So, right. Here we go. First leg of our European tour. England to Scotland. Flight time of approximately 55 minutes. Once we line up, I'll start the chrono and let's see where we get. Yeah, really well modelled aircraft. I have to say, one thing I did notice was the frames per second were working a lot better after Sim Update 11. Don't know why, but they were a lot better. So let's hope I have no issue coming into land, because those of you that have seen the previous live streams will remember the issues that we have had with our it's normally as we're coming in on final approach. As we come in on the final approach, everything seems to crash. Everything. Very annoying. Okay, here we go. Coming to the end of the runway now, so let's just put coming to the end of Juliet. Got to keep going though, we don't want to cut off here, because if we do that actually we end up on 08 left. So just following the yellow markers, we'll follow it all the way to the end, and then we'll take a left turn, and what we'll do is we'll have a quick look out for any aircraft that may or may not be coming in. There's aircraft showing on the TCAS, so they must be there, just not quite sure why we're not seeing them, but never mind. There's one on final now actually, so we will hold. And we'll hold here at Juliet 1. Let's have a quick look. I can't see much through that thick cloud. There's no light. Okay, well, that means we can go. So let's have a go back up here. Let's put our takeoff and landing lights on. Start the chrono. All good. Let's line up. So just a reminder, we're on the Land 1 Zulu departure from Gatwick Airport, first leg of our European tour, travelling to every European country and dependency. So we will visit Isle of Man, Jersey, maybe Guernsey. We'll do Faroe Islands, and we'll also do Gibraltar, which should be a very, very interesting approach. And don't forget, you can like and subscribe. Just hit the like button and subscribe, support the channel. Really good. Right, here we go. is quite low lying, that mist. It's interesting. So just got to go and line up. Should have really come over and gone off at golf. But never mind. Never mind, you live and learn. Because golf would have brought us right to here, look. Start of the runway. But that's fine, that's good. Okay. Flight directors on, all green, no blue, let's do this. Here we go. Here we go. Check. Stay down the middle of the runway would be helpful. V1. Rotate. We're up. Positive climb. Gear up. Autopilot on. Have a bit of a clean up in a second. I'll show you what I'm going to do. There we go. Auto brakes off. And what I'm also going to do is ground spoilers disarmed. Flaps 1. Just going to keep my eye on here. Yep, we're okay. Look, as we've gone through the mist. There's Gatwick behind us in the distance. Nice takeoff, very smooth. And flaps away, tied it up. Perfect. So we'll start our now climb on the Lam1 Zulu departure. Now just climbing for between 2,000 and 5,000 feet, and we're actually going through 3,000 feet, so we're fine at our first waypoint. We're banking now. We've got to maintain no higher than 5,000 feet, a maximum of 250 knots by the next waypoint, and then by Sunav, our third waypoint, we've got to be at 5,000 feet. And if you look on the ND, let's have a just look while we're climbing. If you look here, we've got a smooth bank to the north where we come through Lambourne and then start our descent up to flight level 360, climbing nicely. As you can see, we'll get to 5,000. We won't go above it because we can't be above it for any of these waypoints until we get to Kilo Kilo November 48, which is 6,000 feet. So after 43 we can climb another 1,000 feet, but then we've got to maintain the 6,000 feet all the way to Lambourne before we start our final climb. Once we're through 10,000 feet, we should get an estimated time of arrival, which I'm hoping will be approximately 2:20. That always seems to slip though. We never come in on time. Never. Okay, cool. Right. Slight right turn. Yeah, all going well at the moment. Moving well. Clouds breaking up quite nicely as well. So although it's misty in Gatwick, it looks like it's clear over the rest of the country. So we might have a clear run all the way up into Edinburgh, where we're not expecting it to be too cloudy. I think it's broken cloud in Edinburgh. So let you enjoy that the climb as we go. Okay, so we're just holding 5,000 feet for now. Remember, our transition altitude is 6,000 feet, so we can't put our QNH to standard until we've passed through 6,000 feet. Once we've done that, we'll then put the QNH to standard. Brightness is on full. It's good you get the sun glaring off it. It is quite difficult to see your ECAM at the minute. Cool. And once we're through Lambourne, what we'll do is we'll do our calculations for landing, so we can start to program our landing page as well, because it is a really short flight. You have to work quite quickly. I was going to do VATSIM, but it looks so busy. I just thought maybe not today, not in our first leg. So we're now turning more northerly direction, hoping to intercept Lambourne. We've got 2 waypoints before Lambourne, and then after Lambourne we'll start to climb up to our flight level of 360. What will be interesting is how the Phoenix manages the landing, because we've still had some problems with the Phoenix just veering off left and right on landing. It's been an interesting one on a few occasions, but we've got it down just. So all lights, we've got messages here, landing light and company message. The company message is purely to tell us, it'll be load sheets and to tell us off because we're late. I'll go clear those off now. Go into the MCDU, ATSU menu, AOC menu, received messages. Oh, it's a load sheet, it's not a ticking off. We will get one in a second. We'll accept the load sheet, we'll get another load sheet in a second. We always get 2, get your final load sheet, but everything else, I think we're okay. Just going to get, here you go. So we'll fill this page in a second. Just on the flight plan, there's our constraints. Anything with a magenta star next to it is a constraint, so it will be followed by the aircraft, providing you've put it into autopilot mode and programmed this correctly. It will follow all of these constraints, both on the climb and the descent. So let's just have a look. So we need to be, we know at INPIP we need to be at 260, flight level 260. So we're probably going to have to start, it says here, look, there we go. Speed limit exceeded, that's okay. Everything's cleaned up, so I'm not quite sure why that would be. Top of climb. Looks like it may have actually, top of descent, ERGAB, SHAP, ABV, INPIP, blimey, it's done it. It's done it. So when we get to the top of descent marker, program in flight level, what did we say we needed to be at? 4,000 feet, and it will follow the constraints. So it'll be at INPIP, it's got to be at flight level 260, it'll do it for us. So we don't have to actually worry too much. Although we do have this too steep path, and that comes up a lot. I thought that had been cleared by the team. Can't delete it. We will be okay because we'll start our descent before, so I'm not too worried. We'll start our descent a little bit earlier, before our top of descent marker. Hopefully then that'll bring us down a better rate, he says. Okay, so we're now at 6,000 feet. So we can now go to standard. Oops, pull down. Standard. That's our transition altitude, 6,000 feet in the UK generally. Still just making our way. If you look here, look on the Navigraph, just making our way now to Lambourne. Nice and steady. We've got to be at 6,000 feet. Can't be any faster than 250 knots. And then what will happen is the aircraft will automatically start to climb up to its cruise altitude of flight level 360. So back to the cockpit, let's have a look. So staying an arrival time of about 14:37, 14:36, so it is going to be slightly longer. We are into a headwind at the minute. Or no, it's a tailwind, so why are we... Oh, I don't know. We never get there on time anyway. Not going to worry. Not going to worry. Okay. So, should now start to, as we pass over Lambourne, we should now start to see the aircraft climb. There we go, it's just starting to... Oh, it's not past Lambourne yet, but we'll see it. There we go, the constraint has gone off with the magenta box that was there, and you can now see our needle starting to rise. We will start our climb now up to flight level 360, which is our cruise altitude. That's good. We'll just let that do its thing. Okay, cool, we're off. We're off. So in a second what we'll do is we'll start to program our arrival, so we can keep on top of the arrival, plug in the arrival details on the arrivals page of the MCDU. But just a reminder, this is the first leg of our European tour. The plan is we're going to visit every European country. If they don't have an airport, so for example Monaco doesn't have its own airport, that's Nice, Côte d'Azur, we'll just go to the nearest airport to them. There's not that many countries that don't have their own airport, so we'll be visiting most countries. But where next? So the plan will be, obviously we're flying from England to Scotland, Gatwick to Edinburgh, and we will take off from Edinburgh on our next leg. But where would you like to see us go? Let us know in the comments, and who knows, maybe that's the next destination. Must be Europe though, must be Europe. And if you like the videos, like the tutorials, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Right, okay, let's go and program the details into Phoenix. So on the Phoenix, as we said, this is the departure, but here's our arrival performance calculator. So runway 06, it's actually good there at the moment. Let's apply the METAR. Right, I need the landing weight, which is 62.6 tons. Landing weight, let's click landing weight, 62.6. I got that from the plan. On low auto brake we'll use most of the runway, which is absolutely fine. We're going into a slight headwind at 10 knots, 050 at 10 knots. So we'll be applying low auto brake. There's the METAR on the 13th at 13:20 Zulu time. Wind 05 degrees, 10 knots. Visibility and cloud is okay, no issues. Temperature 12, dew point 11, QNH 1015. I mean, that's the important bit. The QNH is 1015. I'm just going to make a little note of that because we will have to program that in. What have we got? 050 at 10, 12 degrees. So, it's really important. We're going to now come into our MCDU to program our arrival page. So, radio, that's a good point. So, whoops, let's get our arrival up there. So, on the Navigraph charts, what we're looking for is our decision height. What is the height at which we will have to decide whether or not we're going to go around, and here it's 50 feet. So if we come back here, let's put 50 feet in the radio page. So that's a radio call out. It will tell us at that point there minimums, and we'll have to make a decision. If we can't see the runway, we'll have to go around. We'll go through that procedure in a second. So wind 05 degrees at 10 knots, and we'll keep checking this. This won't be the last time we'll look at this page, but I'd just like to get it prepped. 12 degrees. QNH, really important because it's that gives us our altitude when we come off the transition phase. So when we get to flight level 60, we need to put it back into QNH 1015. Okay, let's just quickly go back to Navigraph and have a look at the charts. Again, we've got to be at 4,000 feet by 15 miles out. At 12 miles out, we'll be capturing the glide slope. It depends on the programming of the MCDU as to whether or not we will be at 4,000 feet at D12s, because sometimes that curve here is too big and you end up cutting across and you end up joining here, so we may have to just manually bring it down a little bit, but we'll see. And that should then capture the glide slope and bring us in. However, if there are problems, here we go. If there are problems on the missed approach, we need to climb straight ahead to 3,000 feet, and then what we would do is follow the ATC. The ATC was just tell us, so we would go out on 0610 degrees, climb to 3,000 feet, and then we would wait for further instructions. We haven't got ATC online today, so what we would do is we would make our own way around and rejoin and capture the glide slope again. That's the plan. Again, it's telling us too steep path ahead, but let's have a look. If I come in the flight plan, where is the too steep flight path? Just ignore this. This is the alternative flight plan, which I am hoping we won't need. Right, so from INREV to ESCDO is saying it's too steep. INREV, you've got to be at 2,000 feet, which doesn't help. At flight level 200, sorry, 20,000 feet. ESCDO is saying, what's it saying there? 16,100 feet. Okay, but if I change that, I'm going to probably end up with an issue. So it needs to be higher, but then I probably wouldn't be able to get down to flight level 7,000. But let's have a look. So the constraint is there. Flight level 10,000. Okay, let me just change that, because there isn't actually a constraint other than speed at ESCDO. There's no way we're going to lose 10,000 feet at that point. That is true. Let's just try 150. Let's see if it takes it. I'm not sure it's going to. Yeah, because then what it does is, yeah, okay, cancel. Let's just put it in. Let's see what happens. It doesn't like it. it doesn't like it at all. Because I'm going to get after that. I'll probably get a T. Just yeah, there you go. Look, in rev. I just can't over in rev to Eskdo. It's too steep. Well, we'll just have to live with it. If we have to go in the hold, that's what we'll do. We'll go in the hold. It is a bit of a recurrent problem with the Phoenix. They have corrected a lot of them, but at the moment that one's still there, so that's fine. We can live with that. We've got a bit of time yet before we need to start worrying anyway. Go through there so we can come back up here, turn off all the lights, wing lights. And we'll turn off the seatbelt signs, make it a bit more comfortable for the passengers. 158 today, so yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful view. Ooh, look, the sun's out over there. Look, let's go and have a look outside. Yeah, lots of different planes in the air today. That was really good. We're still on our climb. It's a bit murky over the Midlands. In fact, ignore that. That's, oh, where are we? Northamptonshire. Looking at the map. That's where we are currently. It is a bit murky. But breaking up a broken cloud and nice clear day. There's another plane just passing us. Probably on a descent into London, I would say. There he is. There he is. Where's he gone? He's over here. Yeah, can't see him. I would imagine on his way to London. Okay. So just passing Leicester. So we're in the East Midlands at the moment. Just passing Leicester. Leicester to the east. Sorry, the west. So it's Leicester over there. And East Midlands Airport is just ahead of us, just around about here. Making steady time. That's good. Yep, should be fine. So what time's it saying? 1:15 now. It's changed its estimated time of arrival now to 2:15. That's more like it. I know my my piloting isn't the best, but I didn't think it was going to delay us by another 35 minutes in the air on a 1 hour run. So for those of you that have got Navigraph, worth updating your charts to the latest version. I like the layout. It's a much clearer layout, and what was quite interesting was I imported my flight plan from SimBrief, and it automatically gave me the charts for the airport, the SID and the star. So the only chart that I had to find and add really was the arrival, which was really good. I was really pleased with that, and it's really clear, and you can even have it as a globe if you wanted to. So rather than just having a flat map, you can change it to a picture of the globe and rotate the globe to find where you'd like to take off from. You can do all of your flight planning in it. I just find it easier in SimBrief and then import it in, but you can, if you wanted to, you can do it. Right, here we go. It's going to be a smooth flight. I'm not expecting much turbulence on this one at all. Yeah, we're doing all right time-wise. So let's have a look. Yeah, making good time. Just past East Midlands, on our way. Yeah, should be on the ground about 2:15. We've got the modelled Edinburgh Airport as well, available free on flightsim.to, as was the Gatwick one. I have to say the Gatwick one is well supported. It gets lots of updates, so well worth well worth downloading. Quite a big file. The only thing I would say is if you've got the Phoenix, your cones float. Don't know why that is, they just do. It's not a problem, you just turn them off in the electronic flight like VFB, and that's it, sorted. So yeah, there we go. Wow. So yeah, as I say, European tour. So this is the first leg of it. Where do you want us to go next? Let us know. It's good because we're in control of everything at the moment. We've programmed in the MCDU for our approach. It's quite a calm approach. We probably could have done VATSIM today, to be perfectly honest. We could have probably gone for it, but it was busy at Gatwick Airport today, and I didn't want it to get in the way of the stream. But we will be doing VATSIM. I do enjoy it. Brings a bit more realism to it. I'm hoping when we do our Keflavik leg, whenever that is, there is another YouTuber, Josh, his name is. He mans Keflavik. He's really good actually for those of you that are new to VATSIM. Look out for Josh on Keflavik. Well, he sometimes does the Faroe Islands, but if you're new, he'll talk you through it. Really good, really supportive. I'll recommend it. Makes life a lot simpler and less stressful. Okay. Right. Nice and smooth, and nice blue skies. What I'll do for a little while is I'll just let you enjoy the view from outside. So travel over the East Midlands into the Midlands. Not sure whether that's Rutland water down there, but let you enjoy that, and we'll be back in a second. Okay, so we're just having a quick look at the MCDU just to see where we need to start descending. We're going to try and avoid that too steep rate of descent. We'll probably start our descent a little bit before the top of descent marker, just to bring us down, just to make it a little bit smoother, cleaner if we can. We'll see how we get. But yeah, I'm still hoping to be on the ground. 1414. It's actually saying it fluctuates between 1414 and 1413. It's a bit like the sat nav, isn't it? Trying to beat the sat nav if you can beat it. But yeah, 1414 should be on the ground at Edinburgh, over halfway now. And yeah, making good progress. Flight level 360, heading 333 degrees at a ground speed of 497 knots, which is Mach 0.759. Doing okay so far. Let's have a look. There's Ribble. There's an aircraft right on our flight path, 2,000 feet below us. Not sure where that is. A bit too far away at the moment, but we'll have a look. We'll see if we can go outside the aircraft and see it. You know, that buzz you get as you fly by each other really quickly. About 10 miles out yet, but we will have a look. Just make sure that's not a top of descent marker. No, it's not air gap. So after air gap, we'll start our descent. But yeah, there's that aircraft there. Look, 10 miles out now. So it's obviously doing the return route. It's obviously doing Edinburgh into Gatwick. Where are you? It's only 2,000 feet below us, and we should see it quite clearly. Can't see any light at the minute though. Where are you gone? No, it's not coming yet. Let's go back and have a quick check. It's still on our path, look. Still on our flight path. There, look, right in front. It's coming. We are coming close to it. But it's going ahead of us, actually. It's on the same direction, so we're not actually going to pass it. It is just, well, we are. We're going to overtake it. Yeah, look, there's our top of descent marker. So let's start now. We know we've got to be at 4,000 feet. Let's program this 4,000 feet. Oh, don't want to do that. Let's try again. Not sure you're going to be able to see that very well, but 4,000 feet. Let's pull it. 4,000 feet. It'll manage. There's the airplane there. Look. Let's go out and. Well, that's interesting. I've just started to descend with that below us. Ooh, we're going to crash. Don't crash. TCAS don't go off. That was a bit foolish. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see if we can see what it is. Looks like another British Airways. There we go. And we're going to just do something rather silly and yeah, but we're going to descend right into its flight path. We're going faster than it, we're okay, we're separated enough. Unless he decides to suddenly hit, which he shouldn't do. We are descending 4,000 feet, top of descent. Was actually trying to just do it a little bit too low there. It was trying to stick with the MCDU, and what I wanted it to do was do it a little bit quicker, but never mind. That was partly my fault because I was too busy watching the other aeroplane. So we've been in the air 37 minutes from the runway, so we are going to be a little bit delayed, but 14:15. Well, maybe not. Still saying 14:15 arrival time. I can't see it. No, not a chance. That's way too soon. It's going to be close to 14:30 hours before we're on the deck. He says, I'm sure. We never arrive on time, do we? So I'm making our way now. I'm trying not to expedite, but I may have to. Flight level, so aiming for flight level 20, which of course is the 260 actually is INPIP. So that's what we're aiming for. Let's see what we get. As I say, there is a hold at Tartan, a left hold. So if we need to lose altitude, what we'll do is we'll enter the hold at Tartan for just a couple of circuits just to bring our altitude down to the flight level 070 at Tartan. And then we will make our way to our final approach. It's coming down nicely though, profile nice. Yeah. We're at green dot, so all good. And then we'll be getting ready for our final approach into Edinburgh Echo Golf Papa Hotel, runway 06. We're doing an ILS approach on this, our first leg of our European tour. So remember, what we're going to be doing here is visiting every European country is the plan. And if that European country doesn't have its own airport, we'll be going to the nearest airport. There's going to be 50 in total, because although there's 44 countries in Europe, there are 4 dependencies, and also UK is always classed as one, but we've actually got England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland. We will visit all 4. We'll also visit Isle of Man, Channel Islands, Faroe Islands and Gibraltar, which is quite a tricky approach. Probably won't do that one on VATSIM. And yeah, in some of the flights we will be using VATSIM. I figured, it's quite good to give a tutorial on VATSIM. It was a bit busy today at Gatwick, and I just noticed while we've been on live that Edinburgh has also come on, and so's London Control, so it is a bit busy today. So I think we've made the right decision not to go on VATSIM just for this flight, our first leg of our European tour. But where do you want to go next? So when we land in Edinburgh, Edinburgh will be the start point for our next leg. So let us know in the comments where you'd like to see us travel to next. As long as it's in Europe, that's where we'll go. And don't forget, if you like what you're seeing, you can like and subscribe. Just click on the like button and subscribe to the channel. Help support us. That'd be great. So here we go, descending nicely now onto our INPIP arrival. We are just over in Bevy, so our next Bevy, I should say. So our next waypoint is INPIP. We should be at flight level 260, and it's coming in nicely for 260. It's then getting down 2,000 feet, and then yeah, it's that descent into Tartan. But I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be all right. Yeah, the profile's lovely. Here we go. It's nice. We're coming down really nicely now. So there's the INPIP, flight level 260, and we're just coming in 260 now. That's quite a nice descent profile we've got, and we now find that we're a bit slower. So Kelsurprise, what we're finding is that our arrival time has been pushed back. It's now an estimated time of arrival of 14:16 Zulu time. just coming over INPIP now. 26. So we'll now make our way to 2000, which is the in rev. That's going to be a big ask whether we get there or not, but as I say, I'm not overly worried because we've got Tartan. If we need to, we'll go into the hold, left hold at Tartan, and then we'll lose some more altitude there. Skies are busy. I would imagine Edinburgh's busy as well. Using FSLTL, it does bring in all of the flight traffic from Flight Radar 24, and it is amazing the accuracy. I have to confess, I've been pleasantly surprised by how accurate it actually is. So let's see where we get. Let's get our charts up. So we're now on the star. Just crossed INPIP, below flight level 260, heading to INREV for flight level 200, continuing our descent to Escadoe, maximum speed of 250 knots. We'll then make a turn north to Tartan. There's the hold I was talking about. We've got to be at flight level 070. However, the maximum we can be at and the hold is flight level 140. So if we need to, we'll just take that left hold and just do a circuit in the hold. It's 3.5 nautical miles legged, just so we can get down to 070. Actually, yeah, it's maximum 230 knots and 140. So long as we're there, we should be able to enter the hold. I think we're going to be pretty close to flight level 070, to be perfectly honest, by the time we get there. It's moving well. So INREV just ahead, we're still a little bit of a way from it. 5 miles. I've got to be at 20,000 feet and we're at 21.3, so I'm confident we should be there. Our descent profile is about 2,000 feet a minute, so not concerned really. 2.5 miles to go. This is where it gets busy. This is where it starts to get really busy. But let the aircraft do it. The aircraft is well programmed, I have to say. The Phoenix is really well programmed. It'll follow the constraints. We've got them on the nav display, but I'm not concerned. I think the aircraft's handling these really, really well. The one that's going to be quite difficult is going to be the this next phase of the flight is going to struggle a little bit. We may need to expedite. I'm trying not to, but it's not there yet. Green dot is still it's coming. It's coming. Don't really want to expedite it because it takes us down to 4,000, and that's not where we need to be. We need to be at 4,000 at the start of the approach, 12 miles from Edinburgh. As I said, we may have to change our altitude because it just tends to struggle on that final turn into the airport. Making our way steadily. It's okay at the minute. It's still on for flight level 070 at Tartan. So yeah, pleased with that profile. It's good. We're doing alright. Here we go. Here's our slight bank where we go cross country now to Tartan, which is southwest of Edinburgh as a waypoint. And the reason you've got to be at flight level 070 is quite simple. It's mountainous. So yeah, no accidents needed today. Let's get down on the ground safely if we can. Descending well on the profile. Flight level 166 for flight level 070, and we've got a fair few miles to get there. Tartan is looking, what's that, 20? Yeah, it's about just over 20 miles to Tartan, so we're fine at the minute. We're doing all right. will get a bit turbulent. Once we get through flight level 100, we'll turn on our landing lights, so that's 10,000 feet. Remember, we don't turn off standard until we hit the transition altitude, which for UK the transition altitude is typically 6,000 feet. So don't need to touch that just yet. But it is important when you hit flight level 6,000 feet, sorry, not flight level, altitude 6,000 feet, that you do take that back and you input the correct QNH, which we will go and double check actually. Let's do that quickly now while we're still descending. So arrival METAR, Edinburgh, 1015, 040, which is a change. It is a change. So 040 at 7 knots, 13 degrees, 1015 QNH. So let's go back into the MCDU and go into performance. So once more drag, so that's fine. We'll just put the speed brakes out just for a little while. Right. What did we say there? 1015 is correct. 13 degrees. 040. That's 7. Should be alright. Let's go back in here. Now I have put the flaps, speed brakes out. You'll see there on the aircraft, just to give us a bit more drag. So just put those out, just to slow us down a little bit, because we're still travelling a little bit quickly. And when, ooh, that's going to be close, isn't it? That is going to be close at Tata. Well, we got the drag, we should be okay to get down. Yeah, I think we'll be alright. 7.5 miles. We're alright. We're alright. We'll be heading for flight altitude 4,000 feet, which means we'll capture the glide slope. Right, so lights. Seatbelt signs. Here we go. Landing light, speed brake armed, correct. Okay. I'm going to go for low auto today. Are we going to make this? Look, I think we are, you know. I think we're going to make it. 8,000 feet. We're just coming over Tartan. Well, actually we're not. We're just banking away from it slightly. So landing system on. ILS is armed. I'm gonna go into the MCDU here. Just, yeah, I know there's a speed error. I'm going to activate the approach phase because we are getting close and I want the aircraft just to start slowing us down. I'll go flaps 1 in a minute. Flaps 1. Low auto brake. Spoiler is armed. Be able to go flaps 2 in a second, so we'll slow down even more. Let's just hope we capture this glide slope. Flaps 2. Bit early, but never mind. And we're starting to slow down. You see the nose going down. Hopefully we should be okay. Get down to 4,000 feet. It's now coming down gradually. A bit too slow for my liking. But okay. I'm going to just drop us a little bit quicker. I'm just slightly nervous. I want to be at 4,000 feet just a little bit sooner than it was going to take me down. So we'll see. We've got about 7.5 nautical miles, and we should be at 4,000 feet, ready to capture the glide slope. What you'll find is we'll be going straight ahead, and then we'll turn into the airport. So the airport is actually over to our right. The airport's over here. That's where the airport is. I don't know if you'll see it or not. No, you can't see it at the minute, but the airport is there. The runway, in fact, there it is. So you'll get more of an idea as we come round this loop in a second, and then we'll be starting our final approach into Edinburgh. Should be on the ground 20 past 2, 25 past 2, and we can now go to standard. Oh, sorry, QNH 1015, turn off standard. QNH 1015, which will give us a correct altitude, and as you can see, 4,000 feet's coming in quite nicely now. We'll be ready to turn, make our right turn into the final approach, which I shall start to arm shortly. What you have here are your magenta signs, and what we're looking for is the bottom magenta lining up here on the yellow, and the right hand of the magenta lining up here. Once we've got that, we know that we are going to capture the ILS. We're on the ILS, and it should capture it quite nicely. And there's 4,000 feet coming up. We're fine. We're going to be fine. Okay. Approach mode too soon. As we make our turn, we'll hit the approach mode. That'll capture the ILS. That should then start to bring us down nicely. Nice smooth approach. If you have a quick look at Navigraph, you can see there we are, just making our way over. Actually, in hindsight, what we should have done is a TLA approach rather than tartan. We should have maybe dumped tartan off and going via TLA, which would have given us an easier angle to have turned into the airport. But never mind, we are where we are. It's just going to be a sharp turn. As I say, we may have to make some adjustments in terms of altitude, just to make sure we capture, but the magenta line's now starting to come quite nicely here. Look, there you go, you can see it moving closer to the yellow line. We just need to see the bottom one start to come across, but that won't do that until we're in line with the runway. As we make the turn, you'll see that that will start to come back across. So I'm not concerned by that, we're doing alright. I'm not sure why I got that connection lost, but never mind, we did, and that's all there is to it. Here we go, let's click the approach mode. Right, speed handled nicely, flaps 3. Just control, brings the nose down, just controls the speed a little bit more, doing okay. It's just going to be a bit of a sharp turn to the right, that's the only thing. We just got to try and avoid that in the future. It's really strange. Slowing down nicely, full flaps now. Full flaps. Nose goes down again. That's the good thing about the A320, the auto thrust. It just controls that thrust, so you don't have to worry about putting extra power in or taking power off yourself. Does it for you. Really clever machine. As I use the Thrustmaster Captain's Pack, so I've got the side stick and I've got the throttle quadrant with the flaps and the speed brake add-on. I thoroughly recommend getting those if you can. If you're flying the A320, absolute godsend. I have not tried them with a 737, but I know some people are using it with the 737, the PMDG. It does work. bit of reprogramming needed, but it does work. So here we go. Landing checklist all green, no blue. Auto brake low. Flaps full. Speed brakes armed. Lights on. We should now start to make a turn to the right. It's going to be sharp though. Now would be good. Where are you going? Hello? There we go. Making this sharp right turn, and boy is it sharp. I'm going to turn the approach mode on now. We need to just keep our eye on the magenta in the displays here, look. That'll start to come down. It's now gone to the other side, but that will start to move its way into the middle. That will start to come across, and then we'll capture the glide slope. But it's going to be tight. Approach mode is armed, so we're alright there. And the airport should start to be seen in front of us. Sure, there it is. There it is. Just got to get back onto the path. Otherwise we won't capture that glide slope, and I am slightly nervous now that we've gone too far. No, we're heading for 12. We're okay. We're heading for 12 miles. We should capture it. He says. I am slightly nervous of that, actually. No, okay, we're all right. We're okay. Here we go. Now, magenta's coming down nicely. Altitude holding at 4,000. It's coming down. And this should start to move across as we hit here. I am nervous that we're not going to capture this, you know. See the airport ahead. Here we go, magenta's coming in. We should, he says. Please capture that blinking glide slope. Slowing down, slowing down. Approach speed is 138 today. Landing speed is 128. And we've caught the glide slope. Now this is where I get slightly nervous, because in the past what's happened is we have actually lost connection and had to crash the desktop. This is SU11, so I'm hoping things have been ironed out. I have taken things out of my community folder. We're coming down nicely on the glide slope now, making our way. Runway 06, listening out for minimums call, but we can see the runway already, so that's not going to be an issue. We have got a crosswind actually, 12 knots. Remember our go around 3,000 feet, straight ahead 3,000 feet. I am hoping that we are not going to be going around. Captured it nicely, still 15 miles out. No, I'm lying, that was 10 miles, 9 miles out. Once we get to 5 miles we'll put down the
2,500.
gear. Bringing us nicely. I'm just going to put the go around height in, which I've done, 3,000 over here. Just put 3,000 feet in. Captured it nicely, smooth, bringing us down. There is a crosswind, so we're having to point our nose slightly to the right, which makes it interesting coming into land. But as we start to descend, that wind should lessen. And I think we'll be coming into land at Edinburgh as scheduled at actually slightly later, 14:29 Zulu time. Altitude coming down nicely, it's very smooth, 150 knots ground speed. Indicated airspeed of 142. Landing gear down. signs? I thought the signs were on already. Signs on, maybe you weren't. Okay, we are now. And here we go. Let's see what the landing rate is. It's not been great, I will be honest. It has not been great recently. I've had some absolute disasters. But let's wait and see. Here we go. That's Edinburgh ahead, Arthur's Seat. Got Grangemouth over to the left. Hello, Aviation RHL, how are you? You've joined at probably the wrong time because this is not going to come down smoothly, but never mind. So we're just coming into Edinburgh. What does the RHL stand for? Coming down smooth, coming down nicely. Steady. Waiting for the 50 feet, which is the minimums call. So got a bit of way to go yet. Could come off autopilot. Be careful.
500.
Nice headwind. Wonderful. Stop it.
Hundred above.
Light slope.
Bit low, but never mind. We're coming in.
Light slope.
Minimum.
Continue.
20. Retard.
That was a little bit too hard. Ooh, let's get on the middle of the runway. Here we go, and welcome to Edinburgh. Oh, RHL's just letters. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, welcome to Edinburgh. As I say, this is the first leg of the European tour. The plan is to actually visit every European country. So the next flight will take off from Edinburgh and we'll hopefully get to all 44 countries and dependencies. I'm just going to clean up here, I think. Once we're down here, yeah, I'm just going to clean up. So let's turn the lights. Wrong one. Okay. Doha. Nice. What aeroplane are you using? What aircraft are you using? I haven't got into the big jets yet. I'm waiting for the 380. So ground spoilers off. Let's have a proper clean up here. Brakes off. Flaps. Can go back. Are you on VATSIM as well, by the way? It was heaving earlier. Just coming behind us. Oh, 787 Dreamliner, nice. Yeah, as I say, I'm looking forward to the A380. That's the one I'm waiting for. I tend just to fly the Airbus. A lot of people have said to try the Boeings. We're not going to use GSX to come in here, it takes too long. But we'll go into 10A. I didn't see the landing rate, did anybody catch that? Oh, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. It's not everyone does, I don't think, you know. It's not everyone's cup of tea. Welcome to Edinburgh. Welcome to Edinburgh. So are you streaming live as well? And that says, okay, so we'll turn everything off. Turn engine off. I'm not going to turn around, I'm just going to turn everything off, and that is us. Brilliant. Okay, so we're now in Edinburgh. That's the first leg of our European tour. If you've got an idea of where you want us to go next, please put it in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Till next time, goodbye.